Demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Yes, greetings, blessings, people. We're here, we're live and direct on the Big Bad Station, aratradio.com, and I have a very special guest joining me today live in the studio. So, of course, special guest, say who you are.
Exco Levi, you know what I mean?
What?
Well, by years.
That's it. So, tell us about your journey, because I know it's been a vibe one, but tell us about it.
Well, my journey is a long one, over 20 years in this music industry, you know what I mean? I've traveled all over the world representing reggae music, you know what I mean? From Africa to Dubai, all over Europe, you know what I mean? I've been traveling Europe from 2012, you know what I mean? So, as an artist, I was born in Manchester, I grew up in Clarendon, you know what I mean? And been doing this music over the years, over 20 years, you know? So, I reside in Canada from 2005, you know what I mean, where I won 7 Jono Awards.
Yeah.
Jono Awards is like the Grammys in Canada, you know what I mean? You know, in England you have the MOBO, in America you have the Grammys, in Canada you have the Jono Awards, and this is the 55th annual Jono Awards that I've just won this March for my latest album.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Congrats. I mean, you said you had 7, so you're like, here's another one. Or do you really take it and say, yeah, that's cool? You know,
to tell the truth, you know, when I just migrated to Canada, I used to watch the Jono Awards. I didn't know what the Jono Awards is. So I used to watch it on the TV. I used to saw the Shania Twain, the Celine Dion. You know, I used to think that this is a predominantly white, you know what I mean, music award, you know what I mean, in a respectful way. I only used to see people like Cardinal Official and Chaos on the TV. So just for me to walk the podium 7 times in a 20-year period, you know what I mean, it's tremendous, you know what I mean, and I really give thanks for that.
I hear that.
And it's also for reggae music too, which is, you know what I mean,
up there.
Yeah.
For real. So, I mean, I think everybody, when I heard that you're coming onto the studio, they wanted to know, why is your name what it is?
Well, my name, when I used to go to school, I used to call me Escobar.
Okay.
I used to play a lot of soccer. I still play, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, when I become a Rastafari, you know, I just get rid of the bar, because you know, bar make you drunk.
There you go.
Yeah, so I just keep the Exco, you know, and Levi is like my spiritual name, you know what I mean? So, Exco Levi.
I hear that. Okay. So, there's a deeper meaning to it. It's not just because.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've been working really hard on an album. Tell us about this album, because it's a beautiful album.
My last album is titled Born to Be Free. I mean, this album, I recorded at the Penthouse Records in Jamaica, you know what I mean? This is my second album for them. Donovan Jermaine, who brought to the world people like Beres Woodman, Bojo Banton, Terry Gans, you know what I mean? And my first album, 2005, were with Penthouse, you know what I mean? So we just decided to put out a next project. So we released it February, you know, and it went 72 on the Grammy nomination list, and it also won the Jono Awards in Canada, which is good, you know what I mean? So I give thanks.
Really, really good. And I mean, for some people, they might not necessarily know who you are, but they must have heard at least
because even last night I performed at my virgin birthday party, you know what I mean? People might know the name, but when they hear me start singing the song, I was like, oh, we know this song, you know what I mean? So I get that a lot.
So why is that?
Well, you know, music is a big world, you know. And then if you come to Canada, it would be different. You know what I mean? Everybody would know Exco Levi. And I mean, even in Jamaica, people would know Exco Levi. But in Europe, because I've been going to Europe, Germany, and those places from 2012, so people would know, oh, Exco Levi. But when you go to a different part of the world, people may know the sound, but they don't know the face. And some people know the face and they don't know the sound. That's how music is, you know what I mean? It takes a time before it actually go through its channels.
I hear that.
I mean, I reach it right from the place.
And I mean, who inspired you?
Well, put it this way. I was born and growing in Manchester with my grandmother. She used to have a little radio that she played every night. Because she used to listen to the Exco. You know what I mean? It was a one room. So mama and papa got a bed over there, draw the curtain. And me and my sister them that bed. So she used to have a little small radio that she would play, you know what I mean? And she didn't want to miss the Exco. For some reason, my grandma think that the Exco is the light of her day. Whatever the Exco says, that's how her day is going to go. So she would play the radio all night. So I would hear songs on the radio like Baltimore by the Tamblins. I used to hear Peter Tosh on the radio, you know what I mean? And then my dad was also a sound system DJ from Waterloo in Clarendon. And when he was 15 years old, he came to Manchester and a sound system. I met my mom and get me when I was 15. Yeah, so I think that's where the love for music came from, you know. So my inspiration is like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, all the great icons of the industry,
I hear that. And you know, every time I kind of interview and I hear people talk about Jamaica in particular, they always say, but you know, Jamaica don't really love music, especially reggae music. It kind of, because it's always there, people just know it's there. How do you think about that?
I think Jamaica is the hub.
There
It's
you
the
go.
hub. That's where it was created. That's where it was. You know what I mean? And as I was telling my brethren, that England is actually where the economic part of this music started. You know what I mean? Because people used to live. That's why I was telling my friends that England is Jamaican place. You know what I mean? Because this is where our industry began, like economical wise. So the music was preparing in Jamaica. Yeah. And then Cox and Dad and all those great producers used to come to England. Is our first marketplace for music. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Jamaica, we are influential to the world when it comes to dancehall music and reggae music, and it's just we have different style of music start to come into play. You know what I mean? These younger people them come in and start sing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we still have to appreciate it. But I think the roots is still there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if the roots wasn't still there, Burning Spear wouldn't still be touring across the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Beresford, when Beresford come to Toronto, the show have to keep 2 nights.
Yeah, because too many people.
So that to show you, you know what I mean? And then, regardless of who's doing dancehall now and who's running the place, whenever they come to Toronto, it's a 1-night show. Okay. When Beresford come to Toronto, it's 2-night show. So that should answer your question. Yeah. So the love is still there for the music, you know what I mean? That's
good. So when are you doing a 2-night show?
Well, I mean, I have most of my shows. Last year I was in Europe. I went to Denmark. I'm in Copenhagen last year. Most of my shows I have this year is in Canada. Actually, I won the Jono Awards. I'm getting a request for that. So I'm going to Thunder Bay, Brampton, and different places in Canada. Okay.
And I hear that Canada is a small kind of network of people, but it's growing.
Yeah, it's growing. It's a growing industry, but we have to remember that people like Jackie Metu, people like Levi Sibbles, Shabarangs, they used to live in Toronto. You know, so Toronto is kind of the hub for reggae music and dancehall in Canada. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, because all those great icons used the Kat-a-lyst used to reside in Toronto too, and make a lot of music in Canada. Yeah. So it's a young, vibrant community that is still growing. You know what I mean?
I hear that. Yeah. So when it comes to it, do you go back home? Do you vibe out there?
All the time. Yeah, most 75% of my music was recorded in Jamaica. Okay. The Penthouse Records, Dana Van Jeremy, bless up.
Yeah, I love that. Because one thing for me is about giving back, so when we do something for ourselves and we gain from that, we give back. So are you like that as well? Do you give back to your community?
I have to, I give back in many ways. Not only I support communities. My grandmother have a school in Water Lane. Oh, nice. Yeah, she passed away, we do fundraising for the school. Also with soccer, because I love soccer, So even in Canada, I've just achieve my referee certificate too. Oh, well, because I want to do some referee work with kids because I love the game, you know what I mean? Yeah, so we contribute back all the time to the community.
I love that. Let's talk about recording, because I want to know the process, because I'm sure it looks easy to us that are kind of outside of that. But is it hard?
Well, it's easy if you love it. Like for me, because I'm not only an artist, you know what I mean? I have a certificate in music production. I'm a musician. And 75% of my songs, I'm the one who took the vocals. Okay. So I'm a sound engineer also. I have a certificate in music production overall that I achieved in Canada. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it's I wouldn't say it's hard. You know what I mean? I just realized that the process with me, sometimes you will write a poem. Yeah. Words, because songs is really poem. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a composition of what you're thinking, and sometimes you hear a rhythm, a beat, and the beat will tell you something. Yeah. Like, oh, you need a love song on this one, or you need, you know what I mean? And then sometimes you have to find something and tell the beat. If you understand what I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it worked like that for me. Okay. Every artist is different. You know what I mean? An artist inspired by things that happen around them, you know what I mean? But my thing is just different. I could hear the beat and the beat will just telling me that this is the message, this is a love song. You know what I mean? And sometimes if I have to find something to tell it. Okay, I hear that 100%. Yeah. But tell us about the song Siren. Because this song seems to have just gone a bit crazy. And this song was, I was reading an article that CBC, Canada Broadcasting Corporation, just like you have BBC in England, in Canada you have CBC, which is the biggest radio station in Canada. Yeah. And Siren was placed as the number 4th best reggae recording song of all time in Canada. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was actually utterly surprised. You know what I mean? So, and that song was produced by Reggaeville. Reggaeville is the biggest reggae website in the world from Europe. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so they're the one who produced that song. So, as I said, Siren is the 4th. Can you imagine? The 4th best reggae record of all time in Canada.
So which one was 1, 2, and 3?
I think Levi Sibbles was number 1, Jackie Metu number. All greats.
Greats.
All greats. Yeah.
So you're up there with the greats then.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying it's nice, but how does it feel?
Feels good, you know what I mean? I mean, they're the one who shaped our industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the blueprint. People like Jackie Mentos, all of these great songs that we'll be lifting from Peter Touch to Bob Marley and them. They are the one who put those things together, you know what I mean? Levi Sybil's like so, you know what I mean? Same thing. So
I hear that.
It's a great feeling.
And so when it comes to the music industry, so not necessarily the kind of the stage and the talent part, but the industry and the business, how are you finding it?
Well, I mean, it's good for what it's worth. I mean, you have to just make sure so you have your things structured properly. You know what I mean? And your royalties and everything is aligned. And I mean, and have somebody to monitor that. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing over the years.
Okay. So do you have a good team behind you? I mean, you came with two great people today.
Yeah.
Are they a part of your team?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Extensively. You know what I mean?
Love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
My friend live here in the UK. She live in Canada. It's extensive. It's a family affair.
I hear that. I mean, how did you kind of go through that process of picking, okay, this person for this person for that?
It's for me, I'm different. I work with energy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Love
so
that.
it's just the person who you feel that connection and that frequency with. You know what I mean? It's always the best. Sometimes.
Okay. I hear that.
So we don't work with emotions.
Yeah.
You know, with the emotion and they make bad decisions. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go.
You have to just work with the energy. I work with the vibe.
I hear that. So I mean, I'm always interested. So with the music now, and your family must have heard your tunes. Do they like what you play? What you do?
My family?
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, my kids, them, you know what I mean? They love my work, you know?
Yeah. I love that because that's the next generation, and of course that's who we're trying to inspire and bring forward.
That's it.
And so sometimes, you know, when I hear tunes, they're not necessarily to my taste, just by what's being put out there.
Yeah.
But I've never heard a slack word from yourself.
No. I can't put that on record. You know what I mean?
That's
It have to be clean because I have my kids them, you know. My kids them have to listen to my song.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, I like that one. But my songs are about liberation and awakening the sleeping consciousness. You know what I mean? And vibe too. You know what I mean? Sing about woman. Sing about love, you know what I mean? But it's not gonna be slack and you know what I mean? Nah,
it's how we say it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not gonna be. That's not the core of my existence.
That's good. I love that. I really do. And I think that's why it's nice to interview you. Because I interviewed you years ago. Yeah. But I think it was probably 2013.
Yeah.
Very, very kind of young back then.
Yeah.
But the vibe was still good. You know?
Yeah.
So big up yourself for keeping it going, because I've heard that roots in particular is it's a difficult genre in the sense of trying to navigate it.
Yeah. It's hard because the same thing is reggae. They always tend to place reggae on the back burner because what is this saying? That reggae music is talking about liberating the people and uniting the people. Like, you know what I mean?
They don't want that.
They don't want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's rebel music.
Yeah.
Man.
I hear that. I mean, this album, I keep going back to your album because it's a great masterpiece. What's it called? Let the listeners know and the people know.
Yeah.
And of course, how many tracks is on there? And this is going to be a difficult one, which is, which one should they go to first?
Well, the album is like that, Born to be Free. You know what I mean? And this album is about liberation. You know what I mean? You see what's going on in Africa right now. You know what I mean? With all the coup and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people is rising up and people is rising up against tyranny and against, you know what I mean, world leaders, you know what I mean, all over the world. And not only black people,
everyone. People
in general, you know what I mean? It's just rising up. The oppressed is rising up. So this is what this album is all about. You know what I mean? It's titled Born to be Free. You know, and so one should just check it out. And you should listen to the title track, Born to be Free. You know what I mean? I have a song on it called Born to be Free. I have a song called Slave Trade. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Smile Africa. A lot of liberation songs on it.
I hear that. I hear that. And I mean, in some ways, it's made for an artist. What I got from it was you were quite vulnerable. And how do you feel about being vulnerable to the world?
Well, I mean, the world is there now. You have to just learn to work. You know what I mean? I mean, people see the light shining through you and just accept whatever you're saying. I mean, and make sure you're real to what you're saying and real to your content. Yeah, you know what I mean? And you know, people's gonna say, you know what I mean? So we are always gonna be in a vulnerable position. You just how you navigate around that, you know? And you can navigate around that with positivity.
That's it.
And love.
I hear that, 100%. And earlier you spoke about soccer and football, as we would say football. I mean, is that one of your times where you can just be you and be free?
Good. Football is freedom. I still played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Well, I mean, for all the football fans, what position are you?
When I play midfield.
Okay.
Yeah, midfield. I like it in the middle,
Yeah, I used to like being the goalie.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm that one that was like running out the goalie.
Yeah, I love the midfield, and the midfield is the engine of the game.
Yeah, I hear that. But you know, if the goalie misses, if the goalie doesn't do whatever they're supposed to do, game done.
Yeah.
So, what else do you do? I know you do football. I know you do this, do that.
But I'm also a businessman, a business owner. You know what I mean? I'm in logistics. In Canada, I have my own company. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
So I employ people from the community likewise.
I love that.
Apart from music, we do that. There's music, logistic company, and soccer.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's nice for the listeners to get to know you as a person because, like I said, we see all the glitz and the glamour on the stage and kind of what you put out there. But it's nice to see you as the person because obviously you're an artist, but you're also a person.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
I hear that. So, what would you say to young people that want to get into this kind of field of music?
Well, I mean, not only music, whatever.
Yeah.
Endeavors you want to just be true at it and work hard at it. You know what I mean? Just find out where your calling is. But sometimes some people get calling to sing and rap. You know what I mean? Just know what you're calling. And sometimes music industry is vast. Sometimes you don't have to be a singer, you can be a producer.
No, this is it.
Because you are very important as much as a musician. Because you're interviewing me right now where millions of people is gonna see it and hear the interview. So it's not all about the artist all the time. So if you realize that your passion is not singing, learn to play some music, learn to do an interview, learn to make a beat, you know what I mean? So just know where your calling is. Because it's not everyone have slash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that. And sometimes people that are on the stage should not be on there.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
I mean, which young artists are you kind of feeling at the minute that we can go and check out?
Okay, you need to check out Cairo McLean.
Okay.
He's 14 this year.
Oh, nice.
I'm like 15 this year.
15, okay.
Yeah, in Canada. He's the youngest reggae Jono Award winner in Canada.
Oh, I
Cairo
love that.
McLean. He's also a musician. He won 3 Junos already.
Wow.
He won his first when he was 13, I believe. 14 or 15. Yeah,
Okay.
young kid.
Nice, I love that. I love that.
Cairo McLean.
So are you going to do a duo with each other, maybe?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You should check him out. Cairo McLean.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, man.
So, the album, Born to be Free. I mean, first of all, congratulations
Thank you.
on the album. And congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
It's absolutely incredible. You know, the fact that you just keep striving. Because I feel like every song you put out has got better and better and better.
Yeah.
So it's a joy and an honour, you know, to listen to it and hear the masterpiece.
Thank you.
So, of course, let the listeners know kind of the last kind of words you would like to say before we get into the music and looking at that.
Yeah, just make sure you follow me on our digital platform, Exco Levi, you know what I mean? On all digital platforms, Instagram, TikTok, follow my YouTube pages, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I just listen to the music and stream the music.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And thank you for having me too, you know what I mean?
Anytime, you're always welcome.
Yeah, man.
And like I said, it's a joy and an honour to, you know, have you in the studio and have you here and vibing and stuff. Yeah, man.
Give thanks.
Every time.
Yo.